Hasan, here's the point I would make to you. A lot of people think a lot of these protesters at universities in America are performative. The ones who are chanting their support for Hamas.
Incredibly stupid thing to say up front. It is a protest. It is literally a performance. That is the point of a protest. You're not doing it privately in your home. The point of a protest is to go out and make noise and show public support. That is a performance. That is what they are about. That is what they do. That is the entire point. Just very silly.
Absolutely not. I mean, all protests are technically performative, obviously, but there's a very clear-cut goal for the group of students at Columbia and many other universities. I was in Melbourne not that long ago, and I attended a Palestinian protest there, Palestinian rally there, and the students there were also demanding the exact same thing, that they divest, their colleges divest from a lot of the companies that are aligned with the state of Israel in helping Israel conduct an ethnic cleansing campaign. That is the ultimate goal. That is why they're trying to very clearly cause a little bit of a disruption and engage in.
But are you comfortable? Okay, but are you comfortable?
The most American thing you can do.
Are you comfortable with the ones who are seen chanting support for Hamas or chanting about Intifada?
I am perfectly comfortable.
Yes.
But ultimately, it doesn't really matter. You have to look at the actual tangible goals that the protest movement is stating they're interested in. And I think that those goals, and I think you will agree with me on this, Beers, I think those goals are pretty valid.
Pretty good rhetoric from Hasan out the gate.
With all due respect,
you are very shiny, miss. Like distractingly shiny, I have to say. Like very like you got to put sunscreen on before you look at this lady. I think she's a Zionist. Oh, okay.
Hasan, why do you feel that Columbia, or any college for that matter, owes you to divest from Israel? Why do you think?
But fucking negative IQ opening. What does that even? What does that even mean?
Your opinion is correct, because so far I heard the classic buzzwords. So if I may ask you, what about Israel is apartheid?
That's a pretty easy point to defend, considering the state of the West Bank. That's a pretty easy. I love my Israeli only roads, you know, or my Jewish only roads. I mean, not even to speak of the Gaza Strip and Israel broadly, you know. And did you skip something in the vid? Did Hasan even say apartheid? I don't even know if he did, but I did skip a bit. It kind of sounds like she's on autopilot though, because she's just saying stuff, you know.
How dare you say it's okay to talk about an intifada? Let me remind you, the intifada last time it happened in Israel consisted of thousands of people died.
Wait, did he even talk about it?
So are you saying that you support terrorism and killing innocent people?
Dude, how does Hasan lose this? Like, I'm not saying that rhetorically as though I believe he already has. What I'm saying is, how does anyone look at this lady and support her under any circumstances, you know?
Well, Intifada simply just means revolution, and I'm an American, and in 1776,
violent
we did
revolution.
one of those, and it was pretty fucking good. Yeah. What do you think? The American?
Okay.
Do you think the American Revolution was a people party?
Hiroshima. We also bombed Hiroshima.
Don't. Yeah, I know, and that was also unjust and unimaginably cruel. But of course,
what is that? The fuck does that have to do with an intifada? What is that? She's just saying shit, man.
I think that there are obvious markers, obvious boundaries. I don't think violence against civilians is justified. I have talked about October 7 on this very same show, saying that it was a tragedy. It was atrocities that occurred on October 7 specifically. When you target civilians in any capacity, I think that that is unacceptable. However, this does not mean that violence will not occur in many circumstances. Violence has occurred in every single revolutionary action, many good revolutionary actions. Obviously, America bombing Hiroshima and Nagasaki with an atom bomb, that was not a very good
what Hamas did on October the 7th.
It was not a very good moment for
Hasan literally just said that he thought that targeting civilians was bad, and then immediately afterwards said, I've talked about October 7th. Was that not like a direct, okay.
Civilization at all.
Was what Hamas did on October the 7th, was what Hamas did on October the 7th an example of what you would call a justified revolution?
I don't look at every single act of violence. I look...
Okay, so here's a mistake from Hasan, okay? And this one is difficult, all right? So any answer that isn't a yes or a no would come across as, I think, waffling. It doesn't matter what he's about to say. It comes across as waffling. I think he should say, I think it was unjustified, but an inevitable product of Israeli oppression and apartheid. I think that the broader revolutionary movement from Palestinians, the overall goal, is one that I support. Of course, I don't defend every single individual action, nor would I ask dumb bitch over here to my left to defend every single Palestinian child whose skull has been caved in, you know? We're talking about the broader movement here, the broader intentions. In any large like civilizational conflict, there's going to be unfortunate actions that you don't have to defend.
You've literally just been reciting a whole load of
systems
them.
of oppression.
Why are you avoiding October the 7th?
See, now Piers Morgan is being dishonest here, but that dishonesty is something that you have to account for preemptively with the perceived waffling.
Let me ask you one more time. Do you believe what happened on October the 7th was a justified act of revolution? Yes or no?
I do not, and I do think that. Oh, wait, hold on. That's let me clarify. Let me clarify something very important here. Events that unfolded on October 7th were atrocities. That much is clear. Those atrocities could have been avoided if Israel was not an apartheid regime. Israel has been an apartheid regime for 75 years.
Can you answer how Israel's an apartheid regime?
In the early,
he can't. He's literally getting 2-on-1 right now. I think that Hasan's answer here is correct. I think the way that he delivers this here, the tone with which he delivers it, is critical. And I think that he could have delivered it better, but I think what he's saying is correct.
No, you can't just chime in. You can't just chime in. You ask me a question. You want it. You ask me a question. I'm going to give you an answer.
Because you're repeating
Israel
these lies.
has been an apartheid regime since its inception until 1967.
So I don't think Hasan should take the bait here. I think he should say, sorry, I'm talking to the moderator right now, and then continue with the original point. The only way to effectively deal with a 2-on-1 or any kind of like when you're being overwhelmed with bad faith questions and inquiries is to ignore everyone but one person. And when other people try to interrupt you, you go, excuse me, I'm talking to this person one at a time. Wait your turn. Yeah, so I think that that's the only way to do it, unless it's just a shouting match, and at that point you just insult people. But we're not there yet.
Just finally, just to clarify, Hasan, I can't quite work out whether you said you do think October the 7th was...
He explicitly said... Piers Morgan loves to do this, where he thinks he has a gotcha question, and he'll, like, if you just answer it, he'll just pretend he didn't hear you, and then, like, get insistent and make it sound like you're weaseling by not answering the thing you directly said.
Was an unjustified act of revolution, or whether you changed your mind. So can you clarify?
I think that...
That was good from Hasan. I'm not joking. The audible sigh.
Violent means of maintaining an apartheid is inevitably going to yield violent retaliation.
So was it justified?
Something that is completely avoidable.
Was it justified?
Civilian deaths are never justified.
He should just say no, because it led to mass civilian death. And if we wanted to prevent this, blah, 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 you give the no, then the explanation. Because if you give the explanation first, it makes it seem like you have to be pressured to give the no, and it makes you look more like spineless.
You know what, Hasan?
Hang on, Emily. Hang on, Emily.
You look Hirsch Goldberg Poland's mother in the eyes. No, you look this person's mother in the eyes. And
Jesus fucking Christ, this bitch is demonic. This is like every Zionist influencer is a fucking Hitlerite ghoul. Fucking Christ. Oh my God. Insane.
I just need some clarity here, because it seems like you're dancing around whether you...
Oh my God. Hasan charging at Piers Morgan with a gigantic brand saying no.
Okay,
please stop shouting at each other.
Next to me, wearing an IDF dog tag, if she actually thinks Israel's actions are justifiable.
Bring them home.
Do you
it's
see
to bring
me
the hostages home. The hostages that you rightly believe belong in the tunnels of Gaza.
I'm going to give you two. I'm going to let you two calm down. It's pointless. We cannot hear you when you talk over each other. Every time recently, I have someone from both sides on.
Why was anyone in chat saying that it was an issue for Hasan to get angry? Who wouldn't get angry in this? You guys would be pissing yourself if you were in a situation right now. Like, this is the most unambiguous dog tag, or sorry, not dog tag, dog team. Yeah, that is a dog tag. You know, I think Hasan's doing pretty well.
This is one of my problems.
No, I want to hear if Emily condemns the actions
Hasan,
of Israel.
you will please let me moderate the debate.
Why do you ask her about 30,000 people?
I've got two panelists here who've not had a word yet.
Because you're a fucking terrorist.
Please stop talking.
And I think you're a terrorist. And I think you're a terrorist as well.
Okay, well, I'm not the one wearing...
Because until the hostages are home, don't expect the war to be over.
Yeah, I know.
Bring
you don't care about the hostages. If you care about the hostages,
you're condemning
you would
me.
be
You are
screaming at
exposing
Benjamin
your
Netanyahu.
own terrorism
Benjamin
on live
Netanyahu
television.
is the hostage
you
killer.
You are exposing... You know,
Benjamin Netanyahu has killed more hostages than
Hamas. What do you think you're achieving here?
So there are two strategies that you can take here. One of them is you outshout, and the other one is you condescend and you say that she's beneath responding to. You give quick answers and you engage with Piers Morgan more directly because he's probably more reasonable than her. I think that if you get angry and it just turns into a shouting match, it just kind of becomes a back and forth. But I don't really know how much you could avoid that given the situation. This is a biased moderator, so...
The dissolution of the apartheid regime. That's what it's called. Dissolve the apartheid regime.
So what would you like to see happen, Hasan?
Breathing room. Do you not understand the English language?
You should ignore her here and just continue with the point.
Dissolve the apartheid regime.
You need a Xanax, first of all. You need a Xanax. Okay.
Is that projection? Because this bitch does look like she might have addiction issues. What on earth did he do or say that in any way, shape, or form describes, like, what's the relationship here?
Saying we are fighting human animals, and that's why we have to cut off their food, their water, and their electricity. That was Defense Minister Yoav Gallant.
There we go with the lies
Benjamin
again.
Netanyahu
You're saying Israel cuts off their electricity. They don't even provide their electricity. You're saying they cut off their water. They don't cut off their water. You are spewing lies on national television.
Can you? I'm talking.
I think so. Hang on. Again, you're talking over each other. Some of the comments.
Army
there's no doubt, Emily.
The people they're at war with.
Some of the comments.
Israel is.
No, Pierce, I'm not letting him spew misinformation.
It's pointless.
I swear to God.
This is pointless. We're getting nowhere.
No, because
Thank you.
Did Yoav Gallant not say that?
Israel's cutting off electricity, water, and aid.
Did Defense Minister Yoav Gallant say we are fighting human animals or not? Answer that question. Did Defense Minister Yoav Gallant say we are fighting human animals and we have to cut off their electricity? Cut off
so there you go. Literally, like, so she just like, again, this is the normalization of the Israeli position, that she can just flatly say it, like, just unambiguously. Keep in mind that when she says Hamas, she means Palestinians. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the slight.
You know what? I'm going to cut off this debate.
Of their electricity. The rest is Hamas.
I'm going to cut off the debate because we're getting absolutely nowhere. But I appreciate everybody joining me. Thank you very much indeed.
All right. Well, that was a good convo. Hasan Optics L. Nope. Hasan Optics W. I think that was good. I think every one of you who was like, Hasan really lost here. Either you didn't see it or your standards are way the fuck off. Like, if you think like the average, or not even the average person, like just a figure in general, in a position like that, could do better than that, very difficult.